If you're launching a tech startup in Dubai, you might be wondering if DIFC is the right place to register your company. It's often seen as a free zone for private banks and family offices, not for young and fast moving startups. But that perception does not fully reflect what DIFC has become in recent years. In this video, we'll break down what the DIFC Innovation License actually offers, how it helps with banking, legal structure, and funding access, and whether it's worth the cost for a tech company like yours. Before we start, my name is Shiraz Baid and I'm the founder at Lepidus Wealth, where we help clients and families protect their assets using a range of tools including trust, foundations, wills, and offshore structures. So if you own a business or real estate, don't wait until a legal or health crisis to start thinking about protecting what you have built. Instead, request your free and customized asset protection plan by clicking the link below. You can then implement it step by step as your journey progresses. DIFC has made deliberate effort to attract innovation-led companies. With the launch of its Innovation Hub, DIFC introduced a framework designed specifically for tech firms, especially for early-stage startups and fintech players. This includes significantly reduced license cost, subsidies on office spaces, and easier access to venture funding networks. Now let's look at what this means in practice. The DIFC Innovation License allows founders to set up their company at a fraction of the cost that usually is with the DIFC license. We're talking about license fees starting from just a few $1,000s annually, which is a substantial reduction compared to the standard commercial setup. It also provides flexible workspace options so you're not locked into long term leases or high end office commitments. What's often overlooked is how important this kind of structure becomes when your startup hits certain milestones. Whether it's onboarding global clients, entering partnership agreements, or negotiating a second or third investment round, being in a trusted legal and financial ecosystem can make a tangible difference. DIFC offers internationally credible contracts and investor protection that gives you a head start when engaging with more sophisticated stakeholders. But what truly sets DIFC apart is its legal and regulatory environment. The jurisdiction operates under the English common law with its own independent court system. That might not seem important when you're writing code in your own living room, but as soon as you're dealing with investor agreements, international clients, IP protection, or potential exits, the quality of the legal framework becomes critical. For tech founders who expect to scale globally or raise capital from institutional investors, the credibility of the DIFC structure can help. Having your startup incorporated in a jurisdiction that's respected by international banks, VC firms, and legal advisors sends the right signal. It's also much easier to layer holding companies such as trust or IP vehicles down the line without needing to restructure entirely. Another factor that's gaining attention is cross-border mobility. For startup building in emerging sector like blockchain, AI, or embedded finance, being in DIFC can simplify partnerships with regulated entities. The hub is already home to several sandboxes and regulatory accelerator that gives firms early feedback and conditional approvals that matters when you go to the market. That brings us to banking. One of the most frustrating challenges for tech startup in Dubai is opening a reliable business account. Many free zones offer fast incorporation but fall short when it comes to actual banking relationships. DIFC, by contrast, is home to dozens of top tier international banks. This can dramatically reduce the time and uncertainty involved in setting up an operational account. Another area to consider is the visa and hiring. DIFC platform allows you to sponsor employees with relative ease and without the restriction that comes with some mainland or free zone setups. This is especially important for tech teams that includes a mix of remote, hybrid, and in-house talent. In addition to that, DIFC gives your company access to high caliber talent pool. From legal advisors to corporate service providers to strategic consultants, the support ecosystem within DIFC tends to be more aligned with international standards. This may not impact your day to day coding activities, but it does impact how quickly you can execute strategic moves as your company matures. Of course, it's not the cheapest option in the market. Even with the innovation license, DIFC still sits at the higher end of the spectrum compared to other startup free zones like Dubai Internet City or IFSA. So if you're bootstrapping or focused only on the local market, it might not make financial sense right away. But if you're building a high growth company with global ambitions, the trade off can be worth it. You get a world class jurisdiction, stronger legal protection, access to funding networks, and smoother banking. These are the kind of things that don't matter until they do. And here's something else to keep in mind. The DIFC ecosystem is not just about facilities or permits, it's also about the people. You will be part of a growing community of founders, fintech startups, family offices, and advisors who operate at a much higher standard than the average free zone crowd. That environment can shape your thinking, attract better partners, and open doors you didn't expect. There is also the matter of long term planning. If you eventually plan to set up a holding structure, protect intellectual property, or even prepare for a strategic exit, starting with DIFC can streamline those future steps. It's easier to start from a strong base than to relocate and restructure your entire operations later. In short, DIFC may not be the right for every startup, but for the right kind of startup, especially ones that deals with international clients, fundraising, or IP protection, it can be an exceptionally good fit. As I mentioned earlier, if you own a business or real estate, don't wait for legal or health crisis to start thinking about protecting your wealth. Many people think asset protection is only for ultra wealthy. But the reality is that some of these solutions cost as much as setting up a free zone company in Dubai. If you want to secure what you have built and ensure your legacy, you can request your free and customized asset protection plan by clicking the link in the description below. And if you're serious about building long term financial security, you should really check out my next video right here.